Morning, it's Mike Montgomery. It's February 3rd of 2017. I just want to finish off the week in reference to conflict and dealing with it in our own lives. So we have to ask ourselves the question, why does conflict come? Why do we have conflict in relationships, whether it be at work or at home or at school or with our spouses? Why do conflicts come? Ultimately, if we consider conflicts as the nuisance of life, then we're going to be striving to figure out a way to rid life of all conflict, which is really kind of laughable. We want a world that's conformed to us. We want a church that does everything like we want it. We want everything to be exactly how we like it to be, and then all conflict to be gone. And we try to figure out a way to remove conflict. And what we do is we then go about trying to fix the people in our world to be the way we want them to be, so that we don't have conflicts with them. And it is such a tendency in our own human sinful nature to want to recreate the world in our image, to make it the way we want it so that it makes us happy, because we see the world as a place that should be conformed to us. Because after all, isn't the goal of all humanity to be happy? And I would say absolutely not. It is not to be happy. Happiness follows holiness. The goal of this life is to be conformed to the image of Jesus Christ. And so the purpose of conflict is God is using those conflicts, those times where we butt heads with one another, as a tool to shape us into the image of His Son. And so God is using conflict to conform us to Christ. And so when the pressure comes on and we feel the pressure of the conflict, the natural man simply wants to bail. He wants to bail on the conflict. And so James chapter number 1 talks about it. Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. And he says about staying under that temptation and bearing and enduring the temptations that come, the trials and the testings. It's the picture of maybe a weightlifter lifting the burden of the weights. And as he lifts, he actually is dealing with the conflict, and as he deals with the conflict, he is conformed in the image he's trying to pursue. And God puts the conflict on the bell bar, so to speak, that we need to conform us into the image of His Son. And so God is sending conflict. You ever wonder why you meet the same personality everywhere you go? Maybe because that personality is the kind of personality that God will use to conform you to His image. And so God and His graciousness is sending people to you to rub you the wrong way. And so maybe what you need to do is you need to think about the people that aggravate you the most in your world and say, God, thank you for putting that person in my life, because they expose in me what parts of me are not conformed to your Son, Jesus Christ. And so let us not look at conflict as something that we must eradicate. Because the reality of the fact is, you're not going to eradicate conflict. You're going to deal with it the rest of your life. Let us realize that conflict is an opportunity for us to see, hey, what's wrong on the inside of me? And that ought to challenge us. When the sins of others cause you to get on a soapbox, you probably don't see the point of that sin. But when the sins of others towards you cause you to say, search me, O God, now you're starting to see the point. And so I challenge us on it. Let's deal with conflict in a Christ-like way. God bless you. We'll see you next Monday here in the study. And then those of you in Chillicothe area, let me invite you to come out Sunday to Liberty Baptist Church, 1530 Western Avenue. And we'll meet there at 10 o'clock for Sunday school and Bible study, 11 o'clock for preaching. All right. We'll see you then. God bless.